Hey BookTube, I am doing a top 5 Wednesday video today. The topic for this Wednesday is supposed to be your most anticipated releases for 2015. Here's the thing, I do not often read new releases. Part of it is because I buy most of my books from used bookstores and new releases don't always end up there until like a year or two later. And also because I don't know, I just always seems to be behind on things for some reason. Whatever I'm reading or watching or listening to is usually something that became popular like 2 or 3 years ago. That's just me. I'm always late to the party. So I don't have any, I only have like one anticipated release for 2015. And so in order to do this video, I decided to change it up. And I'm just going to talk about the books that I'm looking forward to reading in 2015. So these are not my most anticipated releases for 2015. These are my most anticipated reads for 2015. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So my number 5, and these are in no particular order, but my number 5 read is Elizabeth Peters' The Ape Who Guards the Balance. I am a huge detective fiction fan. And I heard about Elizabeth Peters and her detective Amelia Peabody in a course I took on crime fiction in like undergrad like 6 years ago. And I was really intrigued by her, but I never got around to reading her books. Amelia Peabody, the detective in Elizabeth Peters series, is a Egyptologist. And she is called upon to use her expertise to help solve crimes. And that just sounded amazing to me. A female detective who studies ancient Egypt and then has to use her knowledge of it to solve crimes. Like, that just sounds like a whole lot of fun. And so I am going to be reading this year. I got this book in September. I'm really looking forward to maybe finding a new detective fiction author to love. So I'm hoping that I like it. The next book is The Blind Assassin by Margaret Atwood. I read my first Atwood novel in 2013. I read The Handmaid's Tale and I loved it. It blew my mind. I thought it was an amazing read. And I said to myself, I'm going to read everything written by Margaret Atwood. And I haven't read anything else by her since. So this will be my first Atwood read since I read The Handmaid's Tale. And I am just really looking forward to it. I've heard good things about this book. And so this will be my next anticipated read. I'm really excited to get to it. This next book is a book that I'm not necessarily excited about reading as much as I am excited about having had read it. Being able to say, I've read it, it's done. And that is The Sound and the Fury by William Faulkner. I've heard so much about this book and so much about Faulkner himself. I've never read any Faulkner except for his short story, Barn Burning. And so I don't know anything about him. And so I'm really excited to get a chance to finally figure out what all the fuss is about and to be able to say that, you know, I've read Faulkner and be able to talk about it. I am a little intimidated by this book. I've heard great things about it. A lot of people, this is two of my friends in real life, like favorite book of like all time. But I've also heard some other things about it. Actually, Adodish Books is reading it. I think she's reading it right now. She's been tweeting about it for the past couple weeks or so. And yeah, her tweets are making me wonder whether or not I want to do it or not. But this is definitely a book that I'm anticipating reading this year. So that would be my third one. And my fourth one is, this is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. This copy here, I don't know if you can see it. It is beautiful. I love it, love it, love it. I got it from a library sale in September and I've been looking forward to reading this for two reasons. One, because this edition is gorgeous and I've been looking forward to cracking it open and actually getting a chance to read it. And two, because there's been this sudden surge of interest in this book again. On BookTube and Twitter and everything, and every time that I've seen people talking about it or mentioning it, I remember what it felt like to read it, because I've read this before. I read this like, I don't know, like 6 years ago or so, and so I am just been looking forward to rereading it. It has like gold here, right there, and it has a bookmark. You know, like a little Bible type bookmark. But yeah, and so I'm just looking forward to rereading this year. I told myself that I couldn't reread it last year because I had a whole bunch of other books that I had to complete, but I'm definitely planning on getting to this year because it's a book that I really, really loved, and I'm looking forward to checking it out again. And then my last most anticipated read for 2015 is Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. It's time. The series has been out for like, what, 2 or 3 seasons now. There's like 5 books in the series. It's time for me to know what the hype is. It's time for me to know what everybody's talking about. So I'm actually going to be reading this in the next week or 2 because I'm going to read it with the BookTube reading buddies. And I'm definitely looking forward to it. I really hope that I love it as much as so many other people do. And one anticipated release that I am getting really excited about is God Bless the Child by Toni Morrison. I'm a big Morrison fan, so I am excited about that book coming out this year. But yeah, just let me know what things you are anticipating reading this year, whether they're new or old. And I will see you guys in a new video later. Bye.